Hey guys, Christopher Win again. Today we're going to talk about the Uconnect 4.3 inch. This is a great sound system. It's actually our base model system. Now, even though it's our base model system, it doesn't lack out on any features. You can find this on the Journeys, the Chargers, and the 2013 Ram 1500s. So let's go and talk about the fascia buttons first. First and foremost, you'll see the radio button, the player button, and the climate button on the left-hand side. And on the right hand side you'll see your settings, your more, and your screen off button. Of course the center screen is a touch screen, so all these buttons are also soft keys on the screen there. We look down, you have multiple buttons down here as well, so we'll go and start from the top left and work our way down. The top left button is your hazard lights. You also have your AC, your air conditioning circulation. You also have your front defog and your rear defog. And then you also have a electronic stability control button off, so that way you can adjust your your ESC anytime that you need to from either off or on. You'll also see that you have your climate controls, red being hotter, blue being colder of course, and that center button right there is your fan speed. So you can turn this to increase the fan or lower the fan, and then the center button is to actually turn it off. Now you also have your volume button right there and your power for the radio, which all you have to do is push this and it'll turn on the radio and turn it to adjust your volume. And then you have your tune, enter/browse, and scroll rotary right here. Now this is great because it can actually allow you to specifically tune into one station or another if your seek's not picking it up. Enter and browse will allow you to, in case you have a media device hooked up here, you can adjust or search for certain songs in there as well. So it's a nice little addition. And then over here as well, you have your CD player with the eject button. If we take a look over here into our center console on the charger, you'll see a little coin tray. When we move that, you have a DC power volt, and then you also have an auxiliary and USB cord right there, or USB port. So you can plug in pretty much any type of media device that you have, being any iPods or anything like that. So we're going to close that up. Now let's go ahead and turn the radio on. As I said, all you have to do is push this button right here. So now our radio's on. Now let's talk about how these buttons work out. So we'll first talk about the hard ones, and then we'll talk about the soft keys. So first, when you push the hard key right here, this is going to switch between your different radio bandwidths from AM, FM, and satellite radio. And then if we push the player button, depending on what media devices you have hooked up, either if it's a CD or if it's an auxiliary or USB device, we can easily switch back and forth from that one. Your climate button will allow you to adjust your climates. Of course, as I said, you have the dual climate control. I really like this system only because you can actually just drag and drop or drag your thermometer around. When we push this button right here, this will adjust your fan speed. This is your mode right here, so the different modes that you could use. And of course your sync, so you can sync up both driver and passenger. You also have your front defrost and your rear defog. You have your AC and your circular. And you can also turn your climate off right there. So now we're going to go ahead and go into settings. Now in the settings you have plenty of different stuff. You can adjust your display, you can set your clock through here, real easy, up and down, just push these and it'll change the time for you. And you can even go into a 24-hour mode. Your safety and assistance, you can adjust your lights, your door locks, your engine options. We'll go to engine options. As you can see, you have your headlight delay off and then your engine power delay. So this is how long it will take before the engine turns off after you've shut off the vehicle. So if you got a cool song, you can leave it on for longer. Your audio settings, so you can adjust your equalizer and then also adjust where the speaker is coming from, and your speed adjust volume, which is a really cool feature, allowing you to allow your vehicle to automatically raise the volume when you speed up and lower the volume when you're starting to slow down. You also have your Sirius setup. That's where you can actually get your Sirius ID code. Let's go into the more, and more you're going to get your outside temperature and the time, of course. Yet again, this will allow you to set your time just by pushing that little button right there. And your screen off, so in case you're driving around and you don't want to see the screen, just go ahead and push that button. You will see this tiny little underlit touch screen to turn on thing right here, and that just tells you that it does that. So now let's talk about the soft keys on the radio. So of course, if you push right here where it said AM and FM, you'll see AM, FM, and your Sirius satellite. So now you can adjust through there. You can browse on Sirius satellite all of them, favorites, genres, game zone, weather. That's only specific to the Sirius satellite radio. AM and FM won't have it. You can also push tune to tune into an exact station. Audio again, where you can adjust your equalizer, your balance, fade, and then also your speed adjust balance. And then info is a nice button because it actually tells you what radio station you're on, and occasionally tells you what music they're playing, and that'll depend on the radio station themselves. You'll also have somewhat of the same options in player, except for the tuning, and I believe the info button still is in there. So that's the 4.3-inch system. Let's go and talk about a couple of the other controls that we didn't see. We're going to go ahead and talk about the rear-mounted steering wheel controls, and those are going to be right there. Now the rear-mounted steering wheel controls, this particular rocker on your right-hand side is actually going to raise and lower the volumes. So if I press and hold this, you'll hear the volume get louder in the background. And if I bring it down, it'll actually lower it. The center button actually switches your bandwidth. So satellite, AM, FM radio, it'll go between all of those without having to look away from the road. Now on the other side of this, you'll see the same type of buttons. Now with these buttons, these will actually scan stations. So the up one will scan up, the down one will scan down, and the center button will actually go through your presets. And on the front of the steering wheel, depending if you have the Uconnect Bluetooth with voice recognition, that system you'll have two extra buttons up here on the top. This side will be your phone button, and this side will be your voice recognition. I'll go over how to hook up a phone on another video, but this one I'll just tell you about those ones. You also have your vehicle information center controls right here. This will allow you to switch between the EVIX screens so you can learn what's going on with your vehicle. As we look right here, this is your vehicle information center that's located right in the center of your tachometer. So let's go through this real quick. By pushing the up and down buttons, you can select different modes inside of here. So we're going to go to the very top of the top screen right here, and as you see on the upper part, it tells you what radio station we are, and if you see P followed by a different number, that'll be whatever preset. So of course you have your fuel economy. This will tell you your exact fuel economy to the moment. It'll also give you your distance to empty, your average miles per gallon, and you can reset that in case you just want to see exactly what you're getting. Easy to reset it. You just press the right button until it resets to 000. You also have your vehicle speed. Now in your vehicle speed, this is a digital readout of your speed. So while you're driving around, you don't just have to look over here to the old way of seeing how fast you're going and not exactly being 100% positive. This is actually pretty good up until 1 or 2 miles from your exact speed. Most of the time it's dead on. You also have your trip information, which will give you your A and B trip, which can be reset. And then you also have a clock, so if you're going on a real long trip, you're very capable of resetting that clock to show exactly how long it took for you to drive there. And then you also have your tire PSI, which this is our base model vehicle, folks. You even see right here, you have an exact PSI to the pound on each one of those tires. Vehicle information, this will give you your coolant temperature, your oil temperature, your oil pressure, your transmission temperature, and of course your engine hours. You have your messages right there. Now this is actually just messages from the vehicle letting you know whether you need an oil change, if you have a strange code that pops up, if you just have some regular scheduled maintenance coming up as well. And then you have turn menu off. Just like on the screen, you can actually turn most of the menu off, but the only difference is you have all of your driving indicators right there, so your park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then low. And then of course it'll still show your mileage and the temperature outside, so that way you don't lose any of those features. And then when we look to the right hand side of the steering wheel, you'll see right here is your cruise control, which is cruise control on and off, cancel. Anytime you're in cruise, I get this question a lot, but you have a plus and a minus right here. The plus and minus determines how much more speed you want or how little speed you want. So by pushing those buttons, you can actually speed up by pushing the plus, or slow down by pushing the minus. It's 1 mile per push. Also, resume is in case you hit the brake while you were in cruise control. You can push that button while you're on the highway and it'll get your vehicle back up to the speed you were, or set will set it to the speed that you want to be at. Well, if you guys have any more questions, my name's Christopher Winn. I'm here at Malloy Dodge. And if you can't find me, go ahead and speak with any of my sales associates. We'll be more than glad to help you. Have a great day.